Complacency.
Complacency. So it would cause the feeling of complacency. Hmm.
It would cause a feeling of complacency. So it is not good for your life.
It's not good for what?
For your life,
Your life? What is your in this situation?
your relationship with others.
Exactly. So how about sharing bad news with others? You need to talk about that as well, you know. Nói chung là nên có chuyện tốt chuyện xấu. Like let's try that. So now if people do most people like to share good or bad news with others, you should also answer the question too.
Um, so in my opinion, when sharing of balancing of good and bad news, uh, it would make your rapport more better.
Better. Không cần cái more better đâu.
Better, like they can uh, relate to your like your failure, so that
They can relate to you and your failure, and maybe they can be a good shoulder to cry on.
will show them to yeah.
Một cái bờ vai vững chắc để mà khóc. A good shoulder, a shoulder to cry on. Một bờ vai để em khóc, người ta dựa vào. A shoulder to cry on.
To be a shoulder, to be a good shoulder to cry on,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, it make like you to be a normal person, not someone to uh, more a lot of distance. Like
Right, I see. So do people like to hear good news from their friends? Not all the time, right? Once in a while, it's okay, but not all the time.
according to my own experience, people not people would reject to hear good news use like frequent when they are usually like they would be envy when they hear a lot of good news from their friends,
Uh-huh.
and that isn't good for your rapport.
Uh-huh.
So balancing between good and bad news would make
It's a key here, yeah.
it a key to keep your friendship, to make
I
it
agree.
long to make it longer. And also when they heard about bad news, your failure, they would be the one
To be the shoulder to cry
to
on,
be
yeah.
a shoulder to cry
But the
on.
question focus on do people like or dislike
Okay.
to hear good news from their friends?
Answer is not like.
It depends, right? It depends on what kind of people you're talking about, isn't it? Okay, focus on that. It depends on what type of friend, what kind of people, and whether they like to hear positive or negative news, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this question can be answered differently compared to the last one. The last question they asked, do most people like to share good news with others? And this question is like, do people like to hear good news from their friends? So it's like give and take. Một câu hỏi nó là một bên là cho, bên nhận, you know? So it's so it should be answered differently. Please don't confuse here. Okay. Yeah, let's answer that again. Do people like to hear good news from their friends?
According to my own experience, people want like they hate to receive a lot of good news from their friends because like
Possibly envy.
they would be envy, and because their friends are too good, and that would make the distance in the friendship.
You mean it could make them feel humiliated, right? Cảm thấy bị humiliated, cảm thấy bị thua kém. It make them feel humiliated. in front of the others, or make them feel like they're being compared, right?
It makes them feel humiliated and
Yes.
being compared with their friends. And because uh, people, they don't like to compare.
Nobody likes to be compared.
So, so,
Yeah.
so I think people should receive both bad and good news in their life.
Hmm.
So it will make it more balanced and yeah, nothing good, nothing too good and nothing too bad would make a life easier.
Mm, I see. All right, that's good for topic of 212. Let's do 211. 211. Describe a time when you taught a friend or you taught a relative something. Dạy một người bạn hoặc là dạy một cái người mà bà con gì đó. Something. You should say when it was, what you taught, who you taught, and how you felt about it. Like, I can think of some situation like you taught your relative to how to use the smartphone, for example, or taught them how to use electronic equipment. That's a very common thing. Okay, so part three, how can people know what to do when they want to learn something new? The focus of the question is how people can know what to do. Làm thế nào biết được? When they want to learn something new, should they search online or use the help of the AI, of the artificial intelligence? Or should they seek for professional help? They can, how can I say, seek, tìm kiếm. Seek mean find. Seek professional help. Tìm kiếm sự hỗ trợ từ những người chuyên gia. Và những người có trình độ. So they seek professional help, something. Or, okay, so you should talk about each of the cases. Like, what's the good and bad of that? You know? Is it free? Does it cost money to do? Is it affordable? And what people get for the money? What people get for the money? Like, for example, if they pay good money for it, they should receive something of value, right? They should receive something of value or worth the investment, isn't it? Now, next question. Do people in your country like to watch videos to learn something? No, it's about learning something, not just entertainment, okay? Not entertainment. Do you think Vietnamese people like to watch video to learn something? It depends. Depends on what age group, depends on their interests, but also depends on their habits too. Personality. Có nhiều người lười lắm luôn á. There's a lot of lazy people around when there are so many materials online, but they do not want to learn. Now, what practical skills can young people teach old people? I think you know this one. Dạy ngôn ngữ Gen Z. Well, you can actually teach them like Gen Z language, of course. Why not, right? Or you can teach them coding, with code, or you can teach them how to use like electronic equipment. Or you can imagine that. But it has to be practical skills, okay? Now, what skills can young people teach old people besides technology? There you go. Ngoài công nghệ ra thì người trẻ phải dạy người già người điều gì? I think patience. Exactly, because basically when you have to deal with the young people, you have to have a lot of patience and open-mindedness. Phải suy nghĩ một cách thoáng chứ em không thể nào mà em cứ bảo thủ được đâu mà em chơi với người trẻ được đâu. No. You have to be open-minded. Well, for the whole life, I've been quite open-minded. If I were more conservative, I would not make a lot of Gen Z friends or Gen Alpha. I actually have Gen Alpha friends too. Có bạn sinh năm 2010. Well, I do. And I also have friends who are like 60 years old, something like that. So you need to be open-minded and patience, you know, and you need to be sincere as well. You know the word sincere? Yeah. S-I-N, sin. Sincere is C-E-R-E. Sincere. S-I-N-C-E-R-E. Phải be sincere. It means chân thành. You have to be sincere. Phải chân thành nha. You have to be sincere if you would like to teach old people something. And also, you need to understand that the older people, they take a much longer time to learn something. So you need to have lots and lots and lots and lots of patience. Phải kiên nhẫn cực kỳ luôn á. Với lại em phải làm sao cho họ cảm thấy an toàn. You need to make the old people feel safe and not feeling judged, you know. Not judgmental. You know, judgmental. So you have to be not judgmental. Không đánh giá người khác. You have to not be judgmental. Because once you become judgmental, then it distances, động từ to distance, it distances yourself to the others. Once you become more judgmental, and things will not work. Alright, nhưng mà cái câu này tập trung vào cái chuyện là kỹ năng nào nha. So what skills can young people teach old people besides technology? What do you think? How to not get angry. How to not get angry. They teach them patience. Không, nhiều người tự nhiên trong cuộc sống thì họ không có kiên nhẫn đâu. Nhưng khi mà có cháu rồi, có con rồi mới kiên nhẫn. Basically, some people, they when they have children, they start to be more patient, much more patient. So the young people can teach old people how to become more patient, yeah. And open-mindedness too. Và họ luôn suy nghĩ không thoáng, nhưng mà tự nhiên gặp người trẻ một cái là họ suy nghĩ thoáng hơn nha. Yeah. All right, so basically just like patience, open-mindedness, to not be judgmental, you know. All right, next question. How can young people teach old people skills? So the question focus on the word how. How can young people teach old people skills? Like, should it be, how can I say, face-to-face? Face-to-face learning? Or is it online learning? Or is it like, how can I say, so the question focuses on how, you know. You know, most people who are old do not really, how can I say, feel comfortable with online learning, you know. So it's better for face-to-face learning for the old people if you want to teach them that skill. So focus on face-to-face learning. Nó còn một cái nữa đó là chính là workshops. You can do workshops, you know. In Vietnam, it's called workshops too. Workshops are basically the place where people can try their hands on making items. They can try their hand on making items, yeah. Workshops. Thực sự workshop là một cái nơi rất là phù hợp để mà dạy kỹ năng luôn á. Like, you know, workshops, how to make like pottery, for example. làm gốm sứ chẳng hạn, pottery, painting workshop, or something like that. Next question. Do you think showing is a better way than telling in education? Anh chị có nghĩ rằng cái chuyện mà thể hiện ra cho người ta thấy là một cách tốt hơn so với lại chỉ nói thôi trong giáo dục không? But how? But how you have to, you said of course, yeah, but how is it different? Like showing here means demonstration, you know, demonstration, trình bày ra. Like bằng cách nào? Like for example, how do you show people how to do things, yeah? Instead of like telling, you can give a lot of examples. Cái cho ví dụ nhiều vô cái trong câu này nha. Like cooking, you cannot just tell people to cook this, cook that, you know. You have to show people how to actually cook by frying, by chopping onions, by frying the meat, something like that yourself. You show it. Right. You have some time to think about this topic now. I'll give you some time.
Mm.
All right, your turn to describe a time when you taught a friend or relative something.
Mm. Let me talk about my last
Speak
year.
louder. Come, speak louder.
So I would talk about my experience in last year when I
Okay.
taught my grandmother how to make a phone call. And due to her huge age gap in technology,
Due to her huge age.
so
Do độ tuổi khủng khiếp của bà. Oh my God, that sounds weird, you know? Due to her what? Due to, okay, let's say due to a large age gap, okay?
due to a large age gap,
Yes.
it takes a lot of time to her, or it take her a lot of time to master it.
Uh-huh.
And my father and I have to be patient because she like just remember for 1 minute and after she forgot it.
She was very absent-minded, right?
Absent-minded.
Well, that's a problem with a lot of people, you know.
Yeah.
They're very absent-minded. Cái đầu cứ giống như là treo lơ lửng, nó absent, nó biến mất. They're very absent-minded. Dấu gạch ngang nó hyphen. Absent-minded. Cái đầu dễ quên. Cái đầu dễ quên quên nhớ nhớ. It's absent-minded. And also,
Um, so so that make me and my father have to be patient and teach her every day. Like I spend most of my summer with her to make to teach her how to use a smartphone to make it
uh-huh.
to make a phone call. Because after that, we when we arrive home,
She could.
she could make a phone call to us. So
Phone call.
phone call
Call, chữ O kéo dài á. A
call
phone call. A
a
phone
phone
call.
call to us so that we can see her online and also see she can see us too, and it make it break a geographical barrier.
Is it geographical or just generational barrier? Nó là rào cản về thế hệ chứ nhỉ?
But
And also geographical because she's not with you guys, right?
yeah, and
I
I feel
see.
very satisfied.
And I felt very
I found very
quá khứ.
I
I felt
feel
satisfied about it.
satisfied about it because she and now she can make a phone call to us every day, so we can know her hair problem, and also I appreciate the time I spend with her because uh, it make me to be a more patient people,
Make me a more patient person.
make me a more patient person.
Mhm. Good. All right. So how can people know what to do when they want to learn something new? Focus on the word have.
So there are two kind of piece of advice when they can learn how to in the way they learn or learn something new. The first one is seeking help from a professional.
Mhm.
But this costs a lot of money. But like due to a lot of money spent, you can receive a lot of useful advice,
Useless or useful?
useful because
Useless advice. There's a lot of useless advice online, don't you?
but in regarding to professional advice
Regarding cái gì đó không có thường nha.
regarding
Regarding professional advice, yes. It costs money.
so but the advice are just worth it.
Mhm.
And on the other hand, when you believe in online advice or online searching,
Mhm.
it may not cost a lot of money. However, they can sometimes they would be it, false or sometimes it would be outdated,
Mhm.
and it make you waste a lot of time and also it show your discipline in learning new skill.
Mhm. It's very discipline learning new skills. I understand that. Now, so these days we have a problem of an overload of information. Không có sự overload, một sự mà quá tải, overload of information. So it's very tough to know exactly when you learn something new, what is the source? What is the reliable source to learn something?
Yeah.
A reliable source to learn something new. It's quite difficult. So sometimes it's good to ask professional help. So that's why I do not think that doctors, teachers, or people is going to lose their job.
Yeah.
Because there's still a place for those professionals if they're good enough. Now, next question. Do people in your country like to watch videos to learn something?
Um, it, according to their interest or their environment, also their age group. First, regarding interest, like when they have a passion for finding something new, like for their job or their habit, it would be easier for them to watch a video, and also after that they can have time to practice use in a real life situation. And when it comes to their environment factor,
Environmental factors, right?
environmental factor, like when they studying in university, there are a lot of their peer who use online video as sort of learning. So like if they don't watch online video, they would be they have a huge distance with their friends.
You mean they will form a huge how can I say gap with a friend? The word distance mean physical distance or like in a general sense. Cái từ distance nó có thể có nghĩa là khoảng cách theo kiểu vật lý hay là cái khoảng cách nói chung với kiểu mình hay nói á. Cái từ phù hợp đây là gap. So there would be a huge gap between them and their friends.
So there would be a huge gap between them and their friends.
Em hiểu được sự khác biệt giữa các từ đó, nó quan trọng lắm nha để lên được band 7. If you understand the subtle difference between the words and their meanings, it could get you to band 7. But it takes a lot of time to get there.
And the last thing is about
Yes.
their age group. Like when you ask old people to watch online video
Mm.
to learn how to cook, it would be hard for them because I think they don't do that before.
They haven't done that before
They haven't done that before,
because they have not done that before.
and so they must be patient and also like open-minded to acknowledge the knowledge,
Acknowledge the knowledge. Wow. To absorb the new knowledge.
to absorb the
Để mà
new
hấp thụ kiến thức mới đi. Let's just say to absorb the new knowledge. That
to
sounds much better.
to absorb the new knowledge.
Uh-huh.
And I think the rest age group is much easier for them to learn through video because they are curious about life. They uh, they see online video as a source of achieving new knowledge.
Mm-hmm. I see. All right, so what practical skills can young people teach old people then?
Uh,
Let's focus on what practical skills.
so the obvious one is how to using technological device
Mm-hmm.
because like they have a age gap between the former
There is because there is an age gap.
because there is a age gap between old people and young people.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to teach old people how to use like their smartphone or how to use their cooker,
The rice cooker, you
the
mean?
rice cooker. Um, Also, I think we need to teach old people how to be patient and uh, be open-minded when they communicate with their their friend or in the social situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they don't have these skills, it would make them harder to form a
To
not
integrate để mà có thể hòa nhập cộng đồng đấy.
to integrate with the social,
Integrate with the society.
with the society.
Hòa nhập với cộng đồng, với xã hội. To integrate with the society, yeah. Anything else? This boy has been eating too much. Anyway, sorry. What skills can young people teach old people besides technology? Now let's go deeper.
So beside technology, the obvious one, we can teach people how to be teach old people how to be patient and open-minded when they
Open-minded.
like encounters social situation, and also they need to be sincere.
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 Cái từ đó hơi bị khó nha. Sincere. Những âm hai á.
Sincere.
Sincere.
Sincere feedback or advice from
Ah,
maybe their family or their
very good. Very good.
friends. Like without these skills, they would hard to
Would
integrate.
be hard to
Would be hard to integrate the society.
integrate with the society, yeah.
And that would make a huge gap between them and their family. And I think the last skill to teach them is not being judgmental. Mentally,
Exactly. To not be judgmental, yeah.
because like in the maybe 50 years ago,
People judge all the time. It's the nature of it's the nature of human, you know.
it's the nature of human for them to judge people because like it's a easiest way to know the other person is good or bad. But nowadays we should not just by their appearance. We should like uh, um, explore and experience more deeper to know their personality.
Personality những âm mấy? Personality âm ba. Right, so now let's come to the question of how can young people teach old people skills? So let's talk about the methods of teaching. Phương pháp giảng dạy. Yeah, there you go.
I think the first factor for young people to teach old people is being patient.
No. How? So it means you have to talk about the methods of teaching. Is it showing them how to do it? Or is it like repeating? Nên luyện tập bằng cách nào show ra, hoặc là cứ lặp đi lặp lại hoài, repeating? Or is it like they should teach face to face or doing online teaching? Which one? How? Okay, focus on how, but not what they can teach. Okay, well, let's try again. How can young people teach old people skills? How?
So young people can teach old people skill by using face-to-face learning because it's more interactive.
I agree.
Especially you can do a workshop about how to make pottery and also teaching about social skill and like that would help them a lot in their life. And so and another factor is repeating.
Repetition.
So
the noun form is a repetition. A repetition. Sự lặp đi lặp lại.
Repetition. Because old people often encounter absent-minded. So
Absent-mindedness, right?
Absent-mindedness.
Right.
So it took them a lot of time to know how to do something. And the last one is like showing them, because they would be hard to imagine thing through telling. And and like when you teach them how to cook how to use the rice cooker, you should be the one to use it first. Like explain what button of for the function, like this button for cooking or this function for stopping it from cooking, so that old people could recognize it when in their normal life.
Okay, very good. So, yeah, that's a good answer. I like it. Câu trả lời là tốt đấy. Very good. So, last question of this topic. Do you think showing is a better way than telling in education? Nói khơi khơi thôi, không có thể hiện, không có show ra có được không? Do you think showing is a better way in education than telling?
In my opinion, showing often better way than telling, because like when the teacher often teach students through their experience, they just put on the slide, and the slide has a lot of word.
There's có gì đó. There's a lot of word on the slides.
There are a lot of word on the slide, so it would make the student more confused and not know their knowledge can like used in the real
Can
life.
be used.
Can be used in the real life. However, when they could
Demonstrate.
demonstrate it through a video, they can actively do it on the class.
Mm.
It would be easily, it would make the student easily to learn it
Mhm.
because uh, like seeing is better than hearing. Like
I mean,
something.
listening, right? Hearing mean you don't want to learn to listen. Hearing is only like, you don't actively want to listen. Hearing chỉ là nghe chơi thôi, không muốn lắng nghe. Còn listening mới là lắng nghe. Yeah. So what do you say about that? Hearing, listening is better than, I mean, showing is better than just listening. Yeah.
So it is better than hearing teacher. Like if the teacher show a picture videos for their teaching skill or the way they teach, it would be they are an experienced teacher.
Mhm.
They spend time to research and make uh, they be a passionate teacher who give like a real life knowledge to the children, not just some theory.
Mhm.
So it would make the education
Interactive, right?
more interactive.
Mang tính tương tác tốt hơn nhé. And also, it's people can absorb the knowledge better if you show them. Yeah, almost always like that. So, okay, let's move on to 210 maybe. Hmm. Okay, 210. Describe a character in a film or TV show. You can take like a candy if you want, like chewing gum. I know you like that flavor. Yes,
Basically,
I like it. Mm. Describe a character in a film or TV show. You should say what film or TV show it is, who that character is, what they do, how you feel about that character. And then part three, is it interesting to be an actor or actress? You have to think about like every day you need to think about how you're going to act. You have to learn a lot of new things. Like for example, some actors they need to learn a lot of new skills when they take a role. When they how can I say decide to undertake a task, đảm nhiệm undertake. When they undertake a task, đảm nhiệm một tác vụ. If they have to undertake a task, sometimes you have to learn a new language, or you have to learn to swim, learn how to do martial arts, học võ. Nhiều khi em muốn đảm nhiệm cái vai đó đâu có dễ đâu. If you would like to um, play a role in a film, it's not easy. So all the money that you got from your salary, actually, it's worth it because you really need to try your best. You need to sacrifice a lot. You need to sacrifice for art. Hy sinh vì nghệ thuật đúng nghĩa luôn á. Cho nên mấy cái người diễn viên mà được lương cao là có lý do. Wow. Tại vì họ phải cố gắng rất nhiều so với người thường. But the questions ask, is it interesting or not interesting? Có thú vị không để trở thành diễn viên? You have to focus on the fact that is it boring or is it interesting? Think about new people you're going to meet every day. Think about fresh and exciting. Fresh and exciting experiences. Những trải nghiệm tươi mới và thú vị that you get as an actor or actress. Sometimes you have to act Sometimes you have to act out of your character. Giống như là mình phải diễn làm sao mà nó không có hề giống chút nào so với tính cách của mình. Diễn một cách hoàn toàn trái với tính cách bản thân. Yeah, sometimes the role you are chosen is absolutely different from who you are. So that's interesting. And also sometimes you have to play the role of, characters that have a very interesting life. For example, a murderer, một kẻ giết người chẳng hạn. Let's just say a role of a murderer, for example. Một cái sát nhân chẳng hạn. Or play the role of a detective, một thám tử. Or play the role of a spy, một điệp viên hay là gián điệp. Sometimes those roles are actually extremely interesting. Nói chung là mấy cái nào nó nguy hiểm á, thường nó rất là interesting. No, like. Okay, so next question. What can children learn from acting? Trẻ nhỏ học được gì từ chuyện diễn xuất?
How to communicate better.
To maybe probably like to have concise, concise. Concise basically it means xúc tích, cô đọng. Xúc tích cô đọng tức là nói ít thôi nhưng mà nó lại truyền tải được đúng chính xác cái nội dung em muốn nói. If you speak just a little but you can convey exactly what you meant to say, that is concise. To have concise conversation. Những cuộc đàm thoại rất là xúc tích. And also what can you learn from acting? Basically to put yourself in the shoes of others. Đặt bản thân vào gót giày của người khác. To put yourself in the shoes of others. To put yourself in the shoes of others. Đặt bản thân vào tình thế người khác. Hoặc là tình cảnh của người khác. Let's put yourself in the shoes of others. Very important. And also, what else? To be more open-minded, of course. Em diễn xuất là đương nhiên em phải đặt bản thân vào cái vị thế người khác, em phải mở cái đầu em ra, em chấp nhận điều mới mẻ. You have to be more open-minded now because you have to accept new things in your life in order to play that role correctly, để chơi được cái vai trò, đóng được cái vai trò đó một cách chính xác. And you need to be observant, to be observant. Có óc quan sát. Phải học cách có óc quan sát. To be observant. Tại bạn không quan sát là không thể hiểu được là cái đối tượng nó như thế nào để mà em đi diễn. If you cannot be observant, you cannot play that role correctly. Now, next question. Why do children like special costumes? Tại sao trẻ nhỏ lại thích những cái trang phục đặc biệt? Like think about Halloween costumes. Think about costumes, traditional costume that are special. Does it because nó đưa ra một cái cách, it presents a way to escape reality. Nó đưa ra một cách để mà thoát khỏi thực tại chăng? Because reality is boring, because mundane life is boring, super boring. Đời sống hàng ngày thật nhàm chán, life's boring. That's why I make my home much more interesting. That's why I give my students candies. That's why I have cats. That's why I have cats. All right, next question. What are the differences between actors or actresses who earn much and those who earn little? Có sự khác biệt nào giữa những diễn viên điện ảnh mà kiếm được nhiều tiền và những người kiếm được rất ít tiền không? Think about the efforts they have to go through. Trời ơi, nhiều khi em ở trên sàn diễn mười mấy tiếng đồng hồ một ngày, em phải tập gym liên tục mà theo một cái liệu trình như muốn chết người luôn á. Sometimes you have to follow. Sometimes those actors or actresses, they have to follow a very strict diet and exercise, have a follow very strict diet and exercise program, very intensive. Nó rất là intensive luôn á, nó cực kỳ gọi là là mệt mỏi với lại cái program đó luôn á. And of course they get compensated, họ được bù trả lại, compensated. Of course they get compensated, I mean get paid. And think also about the talent, phải nghĩ về cái tài năng nữa. The talent. Of course talent should receive good compensation, right? Mhm. So if you're acting, it's mediocre. If your acting is mediocre, you know how to write that word mediocre?
Ừ.
Mediocre. Mediocre. Medicore. Mediocre.
Ừ.
Mediocre là một cái từ mang nghĩa là tầm thường, không hơn ai được. Một cái từ mà nó không mang nghĩa tốt lắm đâu. If your acting is basically mediocre, you should not get paid like a lot of money because it doesn't produce any good quality in the movie. Cho nên mới cho đóng vai quần chúng không là vậy đó. So that's why you only act as, let's say, the people in the movie or unimportant characters. Cho nên là đâu có dễ dàng được những vai mà chính yếu hay những vai quan trọng đâu. It's not easy to get the role of, let's say, important characters in a movie, not at all. Và những người mà earn much á, họ được bù lại với lại rất nhiều thứ họ phải hy sinh vì cái bộ phim đó. Nhiều khi có nhiều người họ ly hôn luôn á, bởi vì họ không dành được đủ thời gian cho cái người kia của họ, vì họ hy sinh quá nhiều bộ phim đó. Some actors or actresses, they have to get a divorce or their marriage just fall, because they sacrifice too much for art. All right. Next, the last question is, what are the differences between acting in a theater and a film? Giữa chuyện diễn xuất trong rạp hát hay là trong một bộ phim khác nhau gì không? Beside from the place. Of course. A hard question, right? Think about acting in a theater. It's very traditional. And of course, it doesn't require, like, it's a different requirement compared to in a film. So basically, acting in a film, of course, it requires a lot of filming. Let's say in the forest, for example, in the forest, in the fields, or in nature, or sometimes in nó gọi là những cái phim trường á. So in film studio, those are very different environment when you film, when you act. Acting in a theater, it's a fixed kind of settings. Nó là trong một cái bối cảnh rất là fixed, bối cảnh cố định. It's a very fixed setting. It's different from a movie, of course. And also, but the whole thing about acting is that you have to act your role in a way that is very persuasive. You have to act your role in a very persuasive way. Em phải diễn cái vai của em với một cái cách mà cực kỳ thuyết phục người xem thì em mới gọi là diễn thành công. Chứ không là em bị thất bại cái vai đó. Alright, you have some time to think about this topic now. Hard one. Cái chủ đề. Talk about that character now. A character in a film or TV show.
So Peter Parker is a character in Spider-Man series. He is a hero trying to prevent the evil group from like destroy the city.
From destroying the city.
From destroying the city. Like at first he's just a normal student, but after he go to the research lab, he received his like magical power, and after that he like was being a superhero and help a lot of people outside. But however, the film give a life lesson about how to balance between being a hero and a noble person, which is very hard to
It's hard to do.
solve it. But I admire for his talent.
I admire him for his talent.
I admire him for his talent and also his acting skill, which make he like
Which make him
which make you into the character. And also, like when I search it online, I know that like, you have to search how to do martial art, and also learning a lot of adventurous skill in order to like perform Spider-Man correctly, which make it experience more
try not to drag too long, okay?
more interesting.
Đừng làm nó quá dài nha. Okay. All right, so let's go to part 3 now. Is it interesting to be an actor or actress?
Of course, it is interesting because they can meet new people every day, so that they get fresh experience, and sometimes they would like receive the role that maybe contrast their personality. They have to act out of character. Like have to be cramped or some like bullier.
Bullying. Bully is a noun. Bullying is also a noun. Kẻ bắt nạt là bully. Còn cái việc bắt nạt là bullying nha.
So like when have a school,
when there is a
film about school and they receive role to be a bully, they have to
learn how to be a real bully, in that character.
They have to learn the social skill to be the bullier.
No, bully.
Yeah.
Danh từ bully. Kẻ bắt nạt.
And another thing, they have to undertake a task, like they learn how to do martial art in foreign language in order to perform well their role. And the last one, they have to sacrifice for the art. Like they have to sacrifice their time with family, or time with their children, and also that a lot of depression when being a actor or actress.
I agree with that. Now, so what can children learn from acting?
In my opinion, children can learn several things from through acting. The first one they can learn is how to have a concise conservation. Conversation.
Conversation. Cẩn thận cái từ bảo tồn conservation với lại cuộc đàm thoại conversation nha. Alright.
Have a concise conversation. Like you have to
Yes.
express yourself in the film, so that you have to use at least word. And also you need to put yourself in the shoe of the other. They have to perform the role that opposite your
The role.
the role that opposite your personality. And the last one, you have to be more. The children can be have more open-minded in order to play the role correctly, and they should try to be observant,
Be more observant.
to see everything more objectively. And that's the skill for children when they use it in acting.
In acting. Now, but let's talk about why do children like special costumes? Of course, special costume is more costly, it's more expensive than normal costumes, but why do they like it?
The obvious one is maybe their curiosity.
Curiosity, I mean.
Curiosity. They see the special costume is fancy,
Of course,
or it
fancy.
looks trendy. Yeah. And sometimes children use that to present the way escape reality.
A way to escape reality.
The way to escape reality due to the boring of the normal day.
Due to the what?
Due to the boring of the normal day.
The boredom, danh từ là boredom. Cái sự boredom, cái sự nhàm chán. Due to the boredom of a normal day. All right. So what are the differences between actors or actresses who earn much and those who earn little?
In my opinion, the obvious one is their effort spent in
The effort they have to spend
in their career. Like they have to, the actor or actress who receive a lot of money, they have to follow a very strict diet and exercise program in order to keep their appearance, and so that they get a worthy compensation.
You mean a worthy compensation?
Worthy compensation. And another thing that can talk about is their pure talent, like people who born with talent.
The people who were born with talents.
People who were born with the talent, they are easily to perform well in the film, so they can get the huge money. And the people
Let's just say they have huge paycheck. Một cái cách nói khác. A huge paycheck. It means a huge salary.
Huge paycheck.
Thì cái vé mà cái paycheck là cái vé để trả tiền ấy. It's like paycheck, you know. Nó là một cái phong bì tiền đó nhé.
Yeah.
A huge paycheck. Right. So, what are the differences between acting in a theater and in a film? The last and the most difficult question in this topic.
So, according to my observation, like acting in the theater is more traditional, which is very different from a film. Like in a film, they like create a film studio, or they can go to the forest on natural light, natural place,
Natural places.
in order to capture real life landscape to make us be more lively.
Có vẻ giống người hơn. Có vẻ giống thật hơn, yeah, more lifelike,
Realistic.
more realistic, yeah.
So when it comes to the theater, people should expect to see the fixed setting and the character perform to that wear a costume and they maybe repeat the role. They have a same role every day. But when it comes to performing the film, actor or actress they need to work harder. Like they need to follow the strict routine. Like they hit the gym every day.
Exactly, and then it's a lot of discipline, for a long time until they can be physically fit, perfectly fit for the role, đâu có
And
dễ dàng đâu.
like in order to make a film is cost a lot of money and a lot of time. So
Let's just say that in order to make a film, a large investment, a large financial investment, đừng có nói là quá nhiều tiền, a large financial investment, một sự đầu tư về tài chính lớn, a large financial investment must be carried out, phải được thực hiện. Một sự đầu tư tài chính lớn phải được thực hiện. A large investment, financial investment must be carried out.
So in order to make a film, a large investment must be carried out, and also the time. Like when we make a film about war, the character needs to learn how to.
Sometimes they have learned how to speak another language in order to fit in that role,
Speak another language in order to fit the role they receive.
Exactly.
And also learn how to do martial art. And that's cost them a lot of time. And so they would be
a large sacrifice.
a lot sacrifice for the art.
And of course, a lot of scenes must be cut. So not all the scenes will be used in a movie. Of course, a lot of scene will be cut. It means that a lot of the acting will be wasted on cutting, So to get a final product, it's not easy. Không dễ đâu. Okay, so theater is more traditional, but of course people have to do a lot of rehearsal. They have to do rehearsal. You know rehearsal? Rehearsal. Nó gọi là tập dược á. Tập dược trước khi diễn. Đó là if you act in the theater, you have to do rehearsal. And of course, in a movie, you always have to just act and then cut and then act again, again until like you get it perfect. But for acting in the theater, you have to do a lot of rehearsal. It's similar, but in a way, it's just called differently. Nó cũng giống nhau thôi. Tập trên sàn diễn đương nhiên là em phải tập dược rất là nhiều lần. Còn trong phim á, diễn đi diễn lại cùng một cảnh đó chứ khi nào perfect là thôi. Rồi mệt lắm luôn phải không đâu? A lot of the time it takes like your whole day or many days. Lots of sacrifice. Rồi hy sinh cho nghệ thuật nhiều lắm luôn á, cho mấy người mà làm phim ảnh nói chung là cực lắm. So basically if they get paid well, they deserve it. All right, so it's all for today.
Thank you.
You're welcome.